Hello everyone and welcome back to Formula Virtual Racing Academy. Here for round number 11 in China. That's right, we are back with commentary, and after a 2-week absence from this, it's a lot of things have spiced up. Currently a 12 driver grid for today's festivities. A very long track you see as drivers make their way down the long straightaway. You see Bourboon making his way down through the DRS zone, leading up to the hairpin. He is the first driver out on track, ready to set a flying lap. As he makes his way out of the hairpin, we'll see what he is capable of lap time-wise. Just behind him is the Ferrari driver, I believe. No, that is, I'm not sure who that is. But in the meantime, Bourboon makes his way through the sweeping turns 1, 2, and 3, I believe they are. I do not have my track map loaded up yet. Keeping an eye on the Williams driver, you see more and more drivers make their way to the line to start their flying laps. Purple for second 1, obviously. We could go on board with the Red Bull driver making his way across the line. That's Kyle Albert leading into the first section of corners, the sweeping corners. Can be used as a passing zone, but only if you're daring enough. An outside or inside move leading into one of the red corners, but slow on the acceleration out of the corner, and he is backing off on the time. Not sure what's going on there, but obviously some issue. Liam Heisman has an issue in the part of Sector 2 right here, and he's around again. Wow. Not expecting that at all, but that's just what happened. And in the meantime, you see Bourboon's around out of the carousel, I'd assume you'd call it. Which means our Ferrari driver right here is the next up and disqualified. Wow. Luke Davies is out of qualifying, being disqualified from the session for going the wrong way. So it looks like he spun out the same corner as Bourboon. So not quite sure. 133.021 is the fastest time of the session. Make our way down. You see Bourboon crossing the line with that 148.667, obviously from spinning. The captain, Habib Cook, goes second quickest with a 134.856. Meanwhile, Tim DeHier goes second with a 133.530. And more drivers put their times up on the board. Crossing the line, we'll keep an eye on Tyler Dean Davison. And he'll go quickest with a 132.586. Saw that one coming from a mile away. 5/10 separate him from second place on the charts. See Chloe Glennon making her way across the line. She's going to start her first flying lap of the session. Down into the first set of corners, you see Red Bull's got something going on over in the final corner. I'm not sure what that's about. Looks like Evan Dalton was caught up in whatever was going on, but not really sure. Brendan White, in the meantime, goes third quickest with 133.357. Still not close enough to the top of the charts as needed. 13 drivers now on the grid, as you see Aston's here. Lots of toss-ups for this week's race. You see, that's Bourboon coming out of the final corner. Let's see where he can go on the charts finally. Setting a clean lap. He will go nowhere. Huh. Could have sworn it said he was on a flyer. Keep an eye on the final set of corners. Oh! What happened? Oh, Liam Heisman went second quickest with a 132.993. That didn't really catch up to me on what was going on. So now currently 10 drivers currently 10 drivers have set a lap this session. You keep an eye on Chloe Glennon coming out of the final corner, almost over the rumble strip. She'll cross the line and go 8th quickest with a 135.786. So the Ferrari drivers, lots of separation between the two. 1 3rd, 1 and 8. So let's see if that changes throughout the session. Got an eye on the Red Bull drivers. That's Brennan White leading up to the final corner. He's going to go into the pits. Kyle Albert in the meantime is going to... Oh, wait, hold on. We got a driver on a lap. That is Evan Dalton. Where does he go? 8th quickest with 135.737. So a time he needed to pull out right there, and he gets it done. Another driver coming through the final corner. I believe that is Balloon. Yes, it is. Let's see. He's probably bringing it into the pits. Yep. Yes, he is. So as the session gets winding down, each driver seems to set the laps they've wanted for the mean time. We got another driver coming out that is... Oh, wow. Okay. So Aston makes his way to the field. So Aston Lewis. Let's see what the Mercedes driver can do here. Once again, another race where Vestago Body isn't here, so that's going to be a massive game changer. We'll take a look at the driver's standings. Tyler Dean Davison closes that gap after last race in Saudi Arabia. This is going to be 3 straight weeks now where Vestago Body will not be scoring any points. Tyler Dean Davison currently sits 11 points back of the Mercedes driver. So not sure what this absence is from Go Body, but in the meantime, Aston Lewis around in Sector 2. Thankfully, it's on an outlap. No drivers nearby to be affected by the situation. So not quite sure what happened there. Looks like just a loss of grip. We keep an eye on constructors, though. McLaren have both their drivers sitting 2nd and 3rd in the standings. In the meantime, Dean Davison around in the same spot as Aston Lewis. You see the brand new McLaren scheme being used these next couple of races, with the pink instead of the blue that is normally there, and chrome sponsorship rather than Android at the top of the car. So what is about to be an exciting qualifying section of the closing minutes. You see, it's hard to really tell how much time's left with the yellow sectors in the final corner. But both McLaren drivers sit 2nd and 3rd in the standings, and obviously lead constructors by a mile for Mercedes. Liam Heisman and Vestago Body alongside their reserve drivers. With 8 minutes and 20 seconds in the session, it's going to be interesting to see what plays hand. Can Red Bull possibly jump Mercedes in the constructors' standings? Obviously, with Brennan White, Kyle Albert, they've had their fair share of mishaps the past few weeks, but with Mercedes not scoring any points in Abu Dhabi, it's going to be fair to say what can happen. Back to the gist of it, it looks like there's a Red Bull driver around. That is, oh no, he's just parked. That's Brennan White letting the field go by, and it looks like one of the not Mercedes, Ferrari drivers is doing the same. Go back to keeping an eye on, let's see, Aston Lewis. Let's see what he can do going on board with him as he makes his way through Sector 3, and wow, a loop right there in the middle of the track. That's going to affect the AlphaTauri driver. Maybe, same with the Red Bull, as they barely get around that. Wow. Aston Lewis will get the car back going, as right as we went on board, he just lost control of the thing. But now Dean Davison, he's the fastest on the charts right now by just about 4/10. So let's see if he can go quicker and stay quickest from qualifying. As multiple drivers make their way to the line, that's Liam Heisman. He's going to cross the line, not go quicker. So I'm puzzled as to how that's the case. Getting an eye once again on the AlphaTauri driver making his way through the final corner. That is Lennon Rotting. Let's see where he can go. Currently 6th to 134.195. He goes quicker with a 134.042, but not quick enough to jump anyone on the grid. Let's see, Tim DeHier climbs the charts to second with a 132.942. Then Tyler Dean Davison goes quicker with a 132.482 as a Ferrari driver makes their way across the line. As Liam, I think he was starting his lap there. Let's see what Aston Lewis, no, that's right, he doesn't have a time set, and he's a round out of the final corner. Not sure, and it's probably going to disqualify him here for going the wrong way. There it is. Aston Lewis will start from the tail end of the grid with Luke Davies. So that is massive when you think about the driver standings and the constructor standings. You've got 2 Mercedes at the front, 2 Mercedes at the rear. So that is going to play a massive factor in everything going on here tonight. Let's see, it looks like Liam Heisman is trying to bank on another lap. See, he is flying down this straight in Sector 3 to the hairpin. Let's see if he's going to bring it around the final corner, or if he's just going to launch it straight into the pits. See Tyler Dean Davison back there at the beginning of Sector 3. He's holding off, but let's see what Liam Heisman goes. Does he go quicker? Yes, he does with a 132.823. Goes quicker, but not quickest. Saw Evan Dalton in the background crossing the line as well. I believe that's Chloe Glennon making her way to the final corner. She's going to go ahead and bring it into the pits, currently seated as 9th in the chart. Red Bull driver around, that's Brennan White over in Sector 2. Not sure what has happened with him. Keep an eye on the Ferrari driver, that's Liam. Crossing the line here. Where will he go? Sitting 4th. He goes to the top of the charts with a 132.153. An amazing lap by the Ferrari driver. Now, Ferrari may have finally brought something to the table that they've been missing out on for weeks. And I think it's finally hit. They found whatever they needed. And it's benefited them massively. A 3/10 pole. See how long that lasts. It looks like Liam Heisman's going to go ahead and bring it into the pits this time. Don't see why he doesn't. You see, yep, flashing red light. Yep, and he's going to haul it into the pits, but not sure if Evan Dalton is following. No, Evan Dalton's going for a lap. Let's see where he goes. Crossing the line to 5th with a 133.308. Just over a second back, so that means 1st through 4th is within a second of each other. So, obviously a more spread out field than you'd like to see from a fan's perspective. Kyle Albert making his way from the hairpin. Let's see where he goes in the final corner. Currently with the slowest lap time put up on the board with 148.327. Obviously a spin lap, he goes up to 5th with a 133.014. With 3 minutes, just a little over 3 minutes left in the session, question is, who else puts up a lap? Who tries going out to defend their spot? Ferrari. I'm not sure who that is. That's Chloe Glennon. Currently in 10th now. She's going to try getting another lap in. Kyle Albert has got something to do here today. Currently one driver out on track posting a lap, so obviously Albert bringing it back. It looks like Evan Dalton's going to be doing the same, just at a faster pace. And there you see the chaotic pit exit. Everyone's going back out, trying to get one last run at provisional pole. And, oh, Tim DeHier loops it right there. I'm not sure how he has managed that one. That's an odd way to send it around, but here's the guy you want to keep your eye on right now. We're obviously going to keep an eye on everyone, but Dean Davison has been a massive factor in every race this season, and now he's got time to prove himself. He's got time to take the driver's standings away from Vescovati. He's just got to have everything go perfectly. He's only 11 points back, but with Vescovati not being here today, it should be easy for him to get the driver's standings lead. Question is, can he do it? Obviously, all of these. Take it would be a fourth place finish without that slap, and that's a 1 point lead. And there you see the top of the board. Liam's going to retire it. He thinks that's it. With a 132.152, he's not going to try defending it. But with little over a minute left, you've got a lot of drivers out on track, ready to go. Keep an eye on Dean Davis to see if he's able to make the jump. Multiple drivers make their way to the final corner. That's it. The captain, Habib McCook, he's making his way towards turn 1, ready to go. You see right behind him, Lennon Rotting. He's in 8th. He's trying to jump up on the board. Tim DeHier, he's also right behind him. He's currently 4th, but he's trying to go quicker. And I believe that's Liam Heisman. Yes, it is, right behind. You've got the Red Bull driver, Kyle Lauer. What's Kyle doing? I'm not so sure what he's... Oh! I think I know what's going on here. I think the Red Bull driver is going to give his teammate some slipstream down into turn number 1. There you see Dean Davison around him, where Boone makes his way through the final corner. He's ready to set his lap. So starting of all the laps, yeah, I believe that's what's happening. Kyle Albert is going to wait up for Brennan White, and Tim DeHiyer's around in Sector 2. Not at all what he needed. He was obviously had the pace to go quicker. It looks like one of the Williams drivers, it's the captain, Habib McCook, is around as well. 2 Mercedes-powered drivers with their laps shattered in seconds. Chloe Glennon just crossed the line with a 131.154. Not sure if that was a new lap or an improved one, but the original, should I say. We're going to go keep an eye on the start-finish to see where these guys go. Keeping an eye on Lennon Rotting, the first car that will cross the line through the final corner. Where does he go? Currently 8th. He stays in 8th. Now Liam Heisman through the final corner. Where does he go? Does he go quicker? He goes quicker to 2nd with a 132.157. 500 separate that gap. Borboon, let's see where he goes. Oh, no, that wasn't Borboon. That was the captain. So that means Dean Davison is going to cross the line with a 132.266 and not go quicker. He went purple in Sector 3, but it wasn't enough. And Borboon's going to come out of the final corner. I think he's going to be the last guy to do this. Oh, no, there's the Red Bull behind him. Where does Borboon go? To 6th with 133.103. A closer field than expected. Brendan White goes to 4th with a 132.669. And I believe that's going to wrap up our qualifying session. Oh no, yeah, just 5 thousandths separate first from second. Absolutely mad. So obviously a close field within the top 7. We're within a second. Insanity occurs like nothing here in China. And nevertheless, here are your qualifying results. So 4 thousandths separate the top 2. Insane. Anyways, thank you for tuning in for qualifying, but keep your eye out because we're just about to get in the race. We'll bring back commentary when we're ready to go. we go as the as the field lines up here back on the grid. Man, a Mercedes driver around back there. A few drivers getting disqualified from this session. The Shanghai International Circuit, the host of the Chinese Grand Prix for the Formula Virtual Racing Academy. The lights, they're up on the board. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and lights out, and away we go here for the Chinese Grand Prix, home of round 11 for the Formula Virtual Racing Academy as they roar down into turn number 1. Lots of movement throughout the field as the pole sitter already losing the lead and falling back to third, maybe fourth here. The Red Bull drivers side by side, beating and banging, but they go 3, almost 4 wide behind him in the back. Making their way there through this hard turn 6 leading up to the S's. There you see Liam Heisman pulling away from the rest of the field. Tyler Dean Davison breaking away into second. Liam gets there into third, but he's got a car around behind him. It's Tim DeHier. Every driver scatters to get out of the way right behind, but they all avoid clean accident. And Tim DeHier keeps it going and not far behind at all. You see all the drivers sweep out of the corners right here. The predicted pit stop strategy powered by AWS on the bottom of the screen. Here you see multiple drivers on different sets of tires. Liam Heisman on the mediums, but the guy behind him, Tyler Dean Davison, who has his eyes set on the point, the driver's standings lead, is on hards. He's making the long strategy. Multiple cars out wide, multiple out a little sideways on the exit, but there you see Kyle Albert trying to defend off Leon Rawling right behind, but Dean Davison's right there with Heisman. He's going to try getting around sooner than later, but I'm sure the pace advantage from the mediums is going to be the huge counterfeit the profit right there, as Liam Heisman goes quicker with a 1:39.270, fastest lap of the race, obviously, with the first lap, and the pole sitter dropping back to third in the midst of it. Kyle Albert pulling away from Lennon Rodding, as he's got a lot to work with right here. As they go single file right behind, you see multiple drivers trying to make the little nitpicky moves. Looked like Chloe Glennon tried getting around Brennan White right there. Nothing to do, but Tim DeHiyer's already made his way through Luke Davies, and he's trying to get around Chloe Glennon. Not sure what's going on there. Looks like Chloe Glennon's car is ghosted. Obviously an issue with game servers of some sort. Luke Davies in the back, that is not a normal place for him to be. As Liam Heisman pulls out to a 8/10 lead over Dean Davison. So a lot to work with, a lot of room, but still no DRS, so obviously you're going to try sliding out of these corners, and a little error right there from Heisman. It's going to get Dean Davison to the outside through the carousel of turn 13, down the long back straightaway leading up to the final 3 corners. See, it looks like he's got a little more straight line speed, but the slipstream means so much. 5/10 separate the Ferrari from the top 2 here. You go on board. Let's see, a little error right there. It looks like he drove out the exit wide, but got the exit speed right there from the race leader. Dean Davison's got a lot to pounce with right here. Can he make the slipstream work? No DRS is activated this time. Third place Ferrari drivers goes fastest with a 1:36.883 on the hard tires. But this top 3 is pulling away from the rest of the pack. Looks like Kyle Albert, though, in the meantime, is just hanging on barely. So not sure if he'll still be there by the time they get to the DRS zone in Sector 3. So that's going to be where these guys start making moves, and I think that's where Dean Davison gets the race lead, especially if Heisman's making errors like that. The top 4 under a blanket right now, which is absolutely insane to say, let alone see at a track like this where little errors can get everyone jumbled up. But then again, you don't expect it to be enough to keep 4 cars under a blanket. You see a battle for 12th in the back. That's Luke Davies and Chloe Glennon side by side through the S's. Almost a little bit of contact there as they fight hard. Little bit of contact actually before they get into, I believe that was turn 9, now going through 10. So Luke Davies is not sure what he's doing back there. That is not normal for him, obviously, with being disqualified. Qualifying session. That didn't help out at all. Now you see everyone in the top three, or everyone in the top four, should I say, has got DRS, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Dean Davison. He's not going to be close enough, so maybe down the front straight, down into turn one is where he can make the pounds. Camera right on the curving in the final corner of turn 16. Down the front straightaway, Cal Albert goes quickest with 136.773 on the medium tires. So 2 drivers in this pack on mediums, 2 of them on hards. The split strategy in this pack is going to be interesting to see if they all come out together in the end. It looks like there's no real pace advantage from the mediums compared to the hards, so that's obviously a massive benefit to these guys that are on a split strategy. There you see poor Boone in 5th, though. He's trying to pull away from Lennon Rotting, and there's a car out of the race. It's Evan Dalton in the back. Not sure how that happened, and the safety car is out on lap 4 out of 28 here. And that's something you hate to see, well, obviously, as it's happened. That's going to change up a lot of the strategy for these guys on the mediums, because now they can make it a little bit further than they expected. So the question is there a massive change in their strategy or no? Obviously that top 4 under that blanket, it looked like Kyle Albert started slipping away just a little bit. So that safety car may have helped him. In the meantime, we'll bring back commentary when we're about to go green, as an early race safety car could play a massive factor in tonight's finish. drivers are about to go back racing, and it looks like Dean Davison's beat me to the punch as he sends it back green out of turn number 15 as they roar down the front straightaway. With a second lead already during the safety car period, we saw both Mercedes drivers, Liam Heisman and Aston Lewis, both pit, so they're now both in the back, which, as I said, yeah, plays a huge factor in how their race finishes. Both of them on the hard compounds now, so not sure if they're trying to make those go to the end, but a little bit of hard racing between Tim DeHier and Aston Lewis. Not sure what's going on back there, but a 1.1 second lead Dean Davison has over Liam. But 9/10 he has separating the Red Bull from the Ferrari driver. Now you see a fight for fourth, though. It's Lennon Rotting and the captain. No, that's Bourboon that he's actually battling, the other Williams driver. But he's got backup behind it. It looks like he's going to let Lennon Rotting right around, entering the S's. Lennon Rotting seems to be using a lot of that ERS. We always see he has that flashing red light, so won't be surprised if we start seeing that pop up here in a bit. And Aston Lewis is around in the back. Aston Lewis around the Mercedes driver. One of them that had an amazing showing going for him today, and there's a Red Bull around as well. That's Brennan White, as well as the captain, Habib McCook, also around. Chloe Glennon looks to have been caught up in whatever has happened towards the back, and a 2-second lead now separates the McLaren driver, and a little sideways on the corner exit. Liam's gonna save it, but with 2.3 seconds separating him from the lead, he's now got to worry about Kyle Albert, who sits in third right behind him, 3/10 behind, softer compound and all. He's got a lot of room to work with, and there's the flashing red light on the back of Lennon Rotting. So obviously Bourboon's going to have the opportunity to get back around. He's going to look for the outside in turn 2, which will set him up for the inside for 3, but obviously that did not work out through 3 and 4 here. As it's a close battle. Luke Davies has found his way towards the mid-pack, but he's still got to hold off from Liam Heisman, who's been up front so far this race. Mercedes Power driver is going to look to the outside, gets nothing from that. These are the top 2 teams in the series this season. See it charged through 7 and now 8, leading up to 9. Mercedes driver's got something to look for here. But we keep an eye on the battle for 4th of Lennon Rotting trying to defend from Bourboon. Looks like he gets better exit speed than the Williams driver. That could also be the Williams driver not trying to push it as much as we've seen a lot of these guys do. Almost wide, it looked like. Just a heavy car on the exit right there. 3/10 separating. Here's the slipstream, and here's the usage of the ERS, or the disadvantage of having no ERS. They're side by side now, as he's still going to keep it there. Lennon Rotting's going to send it into the hairpin. There may be a little bit of contact. He runs out Bourboon wide, but Bourboon's still going to get the DRS down the front straightaway. This DRS, oh no DRS. I forget about that. DRS is now activated, so it will be used next time in the 3rd sector down that long straight. But Luke Davies trying to hold off the Mercedes driver right behind him. 3-second lead Dean Davison has in the meantime. But now you've got a battle for 6 as Heisman tried looking for an inside gap, but now the battle for 4th gets more intense. Lennon Rotting back to the inside, more contact between the 2. Bourboon's trying to keep it there to the inside. He's going to cover it off, but no, he lets Lennon Rotting back to the inside. He sends it in too deep, gets it run out, and a little bit of contact, showing displeasure there from the Williams driver to the AlphaTauri. And in the meantime, Bourboon's going to run away with it, but this is just allowing Davies and Heisman to catch right back up with them as the captain, Habib McCook, around in the 1st sector after turn number 4's exit. So not sure what happened there, just self-spin. It's pain to see. But now you see the locking up from the McLaren driver. He's got room to improve now. He's going to get DRS. Him and Heisman are going to get DRS on Rotting. Rotting's going to get that DRS on Bourboon, however. So not sure if that's going to be much of a benefactor here. You see the DRS flap open on all 3 of these drivers behind the Williams. You see Heisman look for a move to the inside, but he's going to think better about it. And that's going to back up the AlphaTauri right back into the McLaren. So get ready to see an aggressive move be made here shortly. Guys charging down the pit straight. All they can. Looking to the inside there, Davies. Now the outside, he's trying to find any little lane that the AlphaTauri driver isn't in to make a move. He's going to charge it to the inside. Heisman going to let this occur in front of him. Almost a little bit of contact from McLaren as you hear the tires screech as they lock up into turn 6. But now through 7 and 8, let's see what the McLaren driver can do. And oh, Lennon Rodding's around through the sand trap. That was a hard spin off to the right in the runoff, but he keeps it going, no damage. An amazing save to keep it off the wall, and any damage, not sure how that's happened. And in the meantime, Luke Davies is going around. How is Luke Davies going around? That's going to allow Liam Heisman to have a clearer path towards the front, but 1.6 separates him from Bourboon, so that's not going to help him at all, as he's got to catch the Williams driver once more. As I don't think Liam Heisman plans on hitting again before the end of this. Well, the battle for second starting to heat up here, and you see Aston Lewis in the back is spinning in turn 12. The separation in the field gets there. And here's the fight between the big bull and the baby bull. Lennon Rodding's going to look for it, and no, he's not. He's going to take it down into the paddock area. So probably get a fresh set of tires after that spin, probably flat spotting him. That's all it's going to be, switching to the hard tires. Aston Lewis is going to pass. Habib McCook is also going to be Chloe Glennon is going to benefit and go to 11th, still outside the points paying position though. But look at that gap for the lead. It has now closed down to 2.4, so either Dean Davidson saving, but Ferrari's got a lot of pace in it that it's starting to find now. Obviously, the Mercedes driver looked for a gap that just wasn't there. Not making a move, however. Maybe down into turn 1. He's going to look to the inside, leaving no space for error. The Mercedes driver, Heisman, he's going to get around Bourboon like no tomorrow. A swifty pass to get to 4th. So it charges on for the podium from the Mercedes driver. 2.6 separate the leader from second now. Not sure. Oh, and Habib McCook's around in turn 12 to 13. So just not a good day at all for that Williams driver. The field separates themselves. About every driver separated. Besides this for 4th. Looks like Heisman starts to pull the gap on Bourboon through here. No, the gap's closing again, so we may see a pass back for 4th. Not sure. Mercedes driver has made no errors so far today. Oh, and as I say that, oh, the commentator's curse strikes hard. Heisman is around right in front of Bourboon, and he falls back to 6th because of it. Tim DeHier moves up to 5th. And right as I say, the Mercedes driver's made no errors today. He gets on the curbing in turn 13 and sends it around. No ERS deployment there, so he had to use that up to make up some time. Wow. See, the Red Bull driver, that's Brendan White, taking it into the pit. Let's see what he does here. He's going to go from the mediums to the hard tires, and that's the captain. Once again, around before the beginning of Sector 3, so out of turn 10. Not sure how he's gone around back there. So on board with Dean Davison. Seemingly holds the gap steady to second, and once again, Habib McCook is around in turn 12, so he's off track. Not sure if he's trying to get back on. No, he's out there by the barriers. Not sure how that just happened. Intense penalty, so that would probably be taken off his time if it's needed at the end of the race another time. 20 seconds of time penalties for no necessary reasoning. It's safe to say Facebook's day is done. Now, about a lap down. There it is. He's going to retire the car from the session of the pits. And almost a little error from Dean Davison. Not so sure how that happened. Just getting on the throttle too quickly. Elaborate in the pits. So it looks like, yeah, moved to hard tires. So this is where the pit cycle opens up in a beautiful move right there. Chloe Glennon trying to get around the Red Bull with Brendan White. They're side by side leading up to the final corner. Not sure how this is going to go. Close battle right here, as they say, side by side. And now, you see Aston Lewis is maneuvering through there. Not Aston Lewis trying to maneuver through, it's Brendan White trying to maneuver through. You see Chloe Glennon's going to get to the inside, no room to go there, as it gets pinched off to the outside, and then looking back to the inside, and will make the pass on Aston Lewis, the Mercedes driver, falling back. The last of them running cars as Chloe Glennon gets it back in points, and a send right there from Lewis as he doesn't get to the inside. Locks it up, it seems like. He's still outside the points paying positions. And, oh, Aston Lewis and Brendan White. There's an issue back there, and the safety car's out. I'm not sure what has happened, but Brendan White obviously got held up by something. So you're paying attention to... What? What has just happened? So 10 cars remain in the race, as the safety car is now out right after pit cycles. Oh, no. Wait. Oh, no. If you look at this, you see the top 3 have not pit yet. Which means if these guys decide to, 4th on back stays out, Tim DeHier is going to be your race leader, I believe. I'd boldly assume that. Wow. A massive working right here. Absolutely mad. So, this is not what you want to see if you're the top 3. Especially Dean Davison, who wants to take that driver standings lead. An odd position to be in if you're the top 3. We'll keep an eye and see what happens right here. I'm not so sure what will happen. Dean Davison pits. Liam Carrig pits. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. Warboon pits, which means Tim DeHier is the race leader, followed by Liam Heisman. So the Mercedes finds himself back towards the front, sitting in second. So two Mercedes-powered cars sit 1-2. Dean Davison obviously will lead the three cars that pit off pit road. In the paddock area, Kyle Albert, let's see if he jumps for Boone. It's going to be a close one. Maybe. Will Albert do it? Albert goes up to fifth. He jumps the Williams driver. Now if you're seventh on back, do you just pit for why not? Like, just no reasoning at all. See if we can bring up these doubts on how much these guys have been on these tires. So yeah, if you're on mediums, you may as well stick them out to the end. But any of these guys on fresh heart? Oh? Making mistakes under safety cars, so Tyler Dean Davison, Liam Carrick, they're on the mediums, but I'm not sure if they can stay alive to the end. Obviously, that's 12 laps. 11 without the safety car, assuming we go green next time. So this is going to be an interesting finish towards the race, because you know Liam Heisman, Tim DeHier, they're going to defend for as much as they can here, but I think they may have to hold it off just another... they may have to hope there's another safety car, just throw out the softs. Because obviously if there's another safety car, softs can obviously make it to the end. Because they can probably do 6 to 7 laps. But nevertheless, we will bring back commentary when we go back racing as drivers try to keep their tires painted up behind the safety car. We will likely be going racing next time by, as Tim DeHier will lead the field to racing competitions. As Tim DeHier roars it down the front straightaway with an 8/10 lead, but they battle right behind him for second. Liam Heisman sitting there in second, but Tim DeHier is gonna have to run because now Dean Davison's into second. A little bit of contact between the Mercedes and the McLaren. Heisman's gonna hold on to position but make a little error on the exit. That's gonna allow Carrick and Dean Davison around in the car, around in the back. That's, oh, Kyle Albert's out of the race now. Is there gonna be another safety car? The Ferrari driver makes an error. Bourboon shoves his way through to get to third. Liam Carrick trying to hold on, but he's pinched onto the curb almost, and he's going to fall back to fourth. But now the battle's on for the race lead as they battle behind him for third. Davison's going to do all he can to get around DeHire, but I'm not sure if he can do it yet. Trying to send it in right here, not going to work out, and he's going to have to file behind the Aston Martin driver as the drivers make their way through. Lennon Rotting with an error right there. It looks like he shoved out Brennan White a little bit. But Chloe Glennon, not sure which car it was. Kyle Albert is done for the day, and Liam Heisman's around in the back. He's around in the back. He's in 9th place now. Which means in the meantime, Dean Davison gets to lead, but now Bourboon's going to look to the outside. He wants the race lead. He wants to challenge the McLaren driver for the win. Tim DeHire falls back to third on those old mediums, but the fresh, or on the old hard, should I say, but the new mediums towards the front. Bourboon goes fastest with 135.787. 3/10 separate him from a race lead. Can he do it? The Williams driver doing all he can to keep the gap even. He's been up front all day on the podium positions. Sitting 6th in the standings. What a win could mean for this man. The gap pulls away, however, but the battle's on for third. A little bit of rough driving from Carrick to DeHire. Looks like he's going to make a move to the inside entering the corner, but it's going to have to back out of it as it wasn't his corner to make the move. Just having to sit back and watch as the two drivers in first and second fight for the win. You see the swerving up front, trying to break the slipstream. And DRS will be activated this time by Liam Carrick is going to get the position, but DeHire is going to hold it there, try to look for a crossover on the exit. Not going to get there. Now it's those fresh mediums, 1, 2, and 3. But look behind because you got Chloe Bennett and Luke Davies sitting 5th and 6th, so maybe they can have a run towards the podium positions as well. But Luke Davies has more time to make up. DRS activated, and we saw Dean Davison went fastest so far this race. Not sure what the time was. We're keeping an eye on all the action going on here. But the Aston Martin driver starting to fall back, and the Williams driver in second starting to fall back as well. The separation of a second between each podium driver. That's not at all needed, but maybe another podium on the season is fine and dandy for Bourboon. It's just a handful of laps left. Anything can happen. A safety car again, allowing everyone on the soft tires. That would be a huge game changer. Trying to keep an eye, 7/10 separate the Ferrari. But now Heisman around again in the back. Purple sector for Liam Carrick. He's hunting for a win. 2 seconds from the race lead. 8/10 from second. We've got some ground to make up on the driver ahead. But no DRS for Bourboon. But the DRS for Liam Carrick is going to be a huge benefactor here. He's going to be right with him entering the hairpin. Hanging on right behind, out of 15, leading up to the final corner of turn 16. DRS is going to be activated again. Let's see what he can do. Tyler Dean Davison with the fastest lap once again, but that gets beat by Liam Carrick with 135.461, and he's going to send it into the inside entering turn 1 of Bourboon. Bourboon gave him as much room as possible, just knowing that that gap was going to be there regardless, knowing the run was going to be there regardless, and I don't think he had the ability to defend that position like he needed to. Now 2.4 seconds separate Liam Carrick from a race lead as he is on the hunt for Dean Davison. But keep an eye on this man, Luke Davies, hunting for a podium as well. He's only 1.7 back of it, so let's see if he can get back up there as he's bringing Tim DeHier with him. Chloe Glennon not closing the gap on to 5th, so she may have to hold on to 6th and just be content with that, as 3 cars on the hards behind her. As it's Brennan White and Lennon Rodding who trail her, but Liam Heisman moves further back. See Liam Carrick goes faster again through Sector 2, Purple Sector 2, 2.4 seconds separate him from the lead, but it looks like Bourboon's going to have the DRS, so it just may be a fight for second at this point. Unless something happens that could change the outer workings of this race. You see the flashing red lights on the back of both these cars. Dean Davison had no light flashing, so obviously not even pushing for the McLaren driver, as these two sit behind, pushing and using all they can to catch up, but nothing is working as that Mercedes driver carries away with a race lead. But let's see now, yes, still no light flashing, but 2.3 seconds, so 1/10 closed down in a matter of a lap. Not at all needed if you want to get that race win. So he needs an error from Dean Davison, but I doubt that's going to happen. A clean first set of corners. He's going to close 3/10 just about right there through Sector 1, and now it's a 2-second lead. That is exactly what the Ferrari driver wants to see. He's probably not even paying attention to the gap. He's just watching that rear end of the McLaren get closer and closer. 1.8 seconds, using all he can. 1.7. This gap is closing very quickly through Sector 2. Something's happening here. 1.7 is the gap from second to third. So obviously, Liam Carrick is doing something right. 1.8 seconds leading up to this long straight. Purples through Sector 2 is what Liam Carrick does. He's closing that gap rapidly. You saw 1.6 for a flicker. He's got ground to make up as we still close in slowly but surely towards the ending lap of this race. You can only do so much if you're in this position. Liam Heisman still in the back for having a tough day. He's just going to have to walk away with 9th place and tail between his legs because there's nothing else he could do. 1.5 seconds in the meantime is the separation from first to second. Another fast lap with 135.185 separating first from second. That was the lap that the second place driver, Liam Carrick, just set. So the Ferrari driver on the move now. 2.2 seconds, so he's obviously pulling away from Bourboon, but it looks like Luke Davies, who's trying to close in on that podium spot, is unable to do so. It may hold even, it seems. It's tough to say. Tim DeHier falling back slowly but surely. You see Chloe Glennon's managing that gap, just not able to close in, but oh boy, Lennon Rodding's right there behind that Ferrari driver, looking to pounce at any moment with Brennan White just behind him. 1.3 seconds, 1.2 now, 1.1. This gap just keeps closing down rapidly in these closing stages. That could be because the Ferrari driver's using all he can. That could be because Dean Davison's saving all he can. But what can you say if these two get within a second and DRS is activated? There's a move for the lead. 1.4 separates, so a worse carousel right there of 12 and 13. Like a slower exit of the hairpin of turn 14, 15, leading up to 16. Let's see what he can do here. Oh, what? Wow! Very wide out of turn 16. Surprised that wasn't a penalty, or at least a warning for Liam Carrick. But he's doing all he can to catch. Push the limits all he can. It's just a matter of can he do it. 1.2 separates him from the lead. 1.1 now. We've seen him fly through Sector 2, so that's obviously his strong point on top of Dean Davison, as it's now closed down to 1 second even. Let's see, will he have the DRS through that long straightaway in Sector 3? It's going to be close. He's so much quicker through Sector 2, so he's got to hold on. Is that 1 second even? He's got to get within it if he wants a DRS. Crossing the sector line for Sector 2. Didn't go purple, so obviously still a fast Sector 2 compared to Dean Davison, but he's going to get the DRS this time down the straight. 9 tenths, 8 tenths now. We're going to have a fight for the win here at Shanghai. And Liam Heisman's out of the race! Liam Heisman's out of the race, and a safety car is out! A safety car is out! As we were closing in towards the end of the race, a safety car will change everything, halting it all in their tracks. And now is the move stay out or is it put on softs? The gap was closed, and now all that hard work means nothing for Liam Carrick, and he's going to take it in. Tyler Dean Davison stays out, and Liam Carrick's going to bring it in for softs. Bourboon's going to do the same. Luke Davies, however, is going to join his McLaren teammate in staying out on the medium tires. Tim DeHeyer's also going to bring it in for the soft tire. Everyone is bringing it in for softs, but now McLaren is a sitting duck coming in to the final restart of today's race. But I don't think there will be DRS activated at all. If so, it will only be on the final lap. As this race has just turned in to something else. Some people wanted that safety car, some people didn't. But now McLaren is a sitting duck, so does Luke Davies perform masterclass defense on the rest of the field, trying to hold off for his teammate, or does he try going for the win himself? What a way for this race to come towards its closing laps, and we will not get DRS. There will be no DRS whatsoever for these drivers. We'll be going green with 2 laps to go in the Chinese Grand Prix. And what a way for this insane race to come to a close. You see every driver besides the top 2 on fresh softs. 11 laps on those mediums is going to mean nothing to brand new soft tires, especially in a 2-lap dash. And keep an eye on the positions gained. Luke Davies has gained 11 positions, ultimately driver of the day here this evening. As wow, I don't even know what to think of this. We're coming to 2 laps remaining, and you've got teammates up front, but does one defend for the other? Do they both go at it trying to do all they can, or do they just get eaten alive by these guys all on the softs? It's going to be interesting to see regardless. So we're about to be told here momentarily the safety car will be in this time. All the drivers swerving behind, and here it is. There's the notification, safety car in this lap. So now, if you're Dean Davison, do you try to hold up everyone behind you? Do you go for it? Do you back everyone up until last second? We're not even going to have the intervals on. We're just going to keep an eye on the positions, because that's what matters here. 2 laps. It shouldn't matter the gaps. It should matter who wins, who doesn't, who gets podium, who doesn't. As they all swerve, warming up the tires down this long straight. The safety car ways ahead, going through 14 and 15. When will Dean Davison set them flying? It's going to be interesting to see. He is warming up those tires as much as he can, trying to get every little bit. He's going to need an amazing jump. He's going to need Davies to perform an absolute masterclass of defense behind him if he wants this win. But there he goes. It looks like he's sending it back green before the final corner of turn 16. And we've got 2 to go here in Shanghai. Charging him down the front straight, the pit straight, down into turn number 1. Let's see what happens in second. Liam Carrick's going to try making a move here on Luke Davies. Looking to the inside, he's going to make the move. That's going to set him up for the outside of turn number 3. To the outside, he's going to keep it there. He's going to have the run on the exit, onto the curbing before turn 5. Then through there into turn 6, he's going to still be on the inside. A little bit of contact, but he's going to make the move cleanly, and he clears Luke Davies. And now Dean Davison on his radar. Bourboon's going to try getting to that podium spot. Maybe Tim DeHire can sneak in. You see these guys rushing for ground as fast as possible. Bourboon's got time to work with, but not much if he wants to go for a win. And here we go to the inside. A little bit of defense from Luke Davies. He's going to pinch him out to the corner. See, on board with Tim DeHire. Contact between the Williams and the McLaren. More contact off the exit, it looks like. And 3 wide. Tim DeHire gets around. He's going to get around from the contact and move up to 4th. Now he's looking for a podium spot over Bourboon. But now the battle for the lead. Liam Carrig is trailing Dean Davison as he's going to look to the inside for the hairpin. As right here you see Davies sending it into the inside on DeHire. Looks like a little bit of contact there, but Brendan White's on the hunt now. Landon Rodding and Chloe Glennon are right there as well behind the McLaren driver. At a 1:35.047 for Liam Carrig, but the battle for the lead as they sway down the front straightaway. And a contact! Massive contact for the Ferrari to the McLaren. It looks like almost a brake check. Liam Carrig doing all he can to get around, but this may be Bourboon's chance if these two make a mistake. The Williams driver could see the top step of the podium for the first time this season. To the outside goes Carrig. He's going to try going for a crossover. Crossover on Dean Davison. Liam Carrick's going to get to the lead, but he's not going to clear him. He's still out wide, and he stays behind Dean Davison for the S's. Leading up to turns 9 and 10 here, as he's not got much room to work with. He's got a little bit of track. He's got one sector, but he's got a Williams trailing behind who can make a move at any given time. The flashing red light on the back of the Ferrari. This could be massive. Last chance opportunity if you're going to go for this win. How does it go? Falling back massively is the Ferrari driver. The braking of the slipstream. They swerve down the back straight. I don't think it's going to be enough. I do believe Dean Davison's going to get it. He's got enough of a lead. Liam Carrick's going to have to send it. He locks it up, and that's going to allow Bourboon to the inside. Bourboon's to second. But Liam Carrick's going to hold it there. These guys on the softs aren't going to get it, but Dean Davison's going to hold off with masterclass defense and win the Chinese Grand Prix. Bourboon gets second. Liam Carrick third. Tim DeHire fourth. Brendan White gets fifth. Luke Davies sixth. Lennon Rodding 7th, and Chloe Glennon will come out of the final corner to get 8th. But an amazing drive from the McLaren driver to hold on despite the odds and claim the win of the Chinese Grand Prix and the points lead. In the driver's standings, Luke Davies with driver of the day, McLaren with the gamble, and they hold on strong. And now it's off to the podium celebration. And a fantastic race. Tyler Dean Davison starts third, but wins the race after a late race safety car changed everything. Still able to hold on the worn out medium tires. So Dean Davison brings home the win, claiming the driver's standings lead. Boone in the Williams started 7th, brings it home in 2nd. The pole setter Liam Carrig finishes 3rd. Tim DeHier 4th. Brennan White 5th. Luke Davies in 6th. Lennon Rodding in 7th. Liam Heisman 8th. Then Kyle Albert 9th and Aston Lewis in 10th. That's your points paying positions, and thank you to everyone who attended and showed up and watched today's exciting Chinese Grand Prix. Until then, we'll see you next week. Tune in then at Brazil. Or, no, not Brazil. Yeah, it is Brazil, I believe. Nevertheless, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.